Hi guys, and welcome to day 3 of our 28 days of yoga with Kirstie. Today's a slow flow and meditation. So this is a fab one to have warm clothes nearby, maybe grab some fluffy socks if you haven't already got some warm socks on, maybe grab a blanket, some pillows, as we are going to meditate towards the end in a nice lying down position, so it's always nice to get really comfy here. But before we get to that point, we are going to be doing some stretching in the body just so that we can release some tension that we may be holding on to, which will hopefully encourage a nicer relaxation, our shavasana, towards the end. So if you're ready, if you've got everything you need to get comfy, any extra layers you want to grab on, if you want to pop the heating on or maybe put a fire on if you've got one nearby, now's the chance to do so. Otherwise, get ready for our slow flow and meditation. So for day 3, it's a really nice and slow flow. We're not going to be doing too much that exerts too much energy, so let's start in a place where we mean to stay. Let's go on our backs. So coming to a nice lying down position today. We're just going to close our eyes when we get there. Allow the legs to go wherever comfortable. Maybe it's a nice long line, hands either side of the body. Maybe the feet are planted, the knees are up towards the ceiling. If that's the case, if the feet are planted, perhaps focus on trying to get the lower back connected to the mat if you can. We're just going to spend a little bit of time just breathing here, maybe having a little wiggle if you need to, perhaps some stretches or moving the body in any way that feels good. And then maybe we come to a place where we can really just find stillness and focus on the breath. Today we might be beginning and ending the class in the same position, depending on what feels nice for you. So let's take the time now to check in with the body and how we're feeling now at the start of our flow today, and then maybe compare the two towards the end. So maybe the hands are resting on the mat next to you, or perhaps one hand or both hands are on the belly, or some other part of the body that feels good for you today. The eyes are gently shut. We're focusing on our breath, the rise and the fall of the belly, maybe the chest, the rib cage to the sides, then all the way up to the collarbone. How does your breathing work? How does your torso move to take air in and to push air out? So just breathing in and breathing out today. Giving our body time to allow us to really realize how we're feeling today. Maybe we've just woken up. Maybe we've decided to come to this practice during the day. Or perhaps it's the evening now. But where are you at? How is your body? How are your energy levels? And how does breathing feel? Is it easy to breathe? Is it challenging? Or does it feel pretty normal? Let's take a few more lovely deep breaths. And letting your mind become aware of anything that your body or your mind wants you to be aware of. Good. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, if your feet are extended towards the bottom of the mat, just gently bend into those knees and bring the knees up towards the ceiling, planting the feet flat on the mat, about hip width wide. And just take a few moments breathing here. If you're already there, fantastic, just stay where you are. Good. And then from this position, if the hands are on the body, let's just release them down to the mat, either side of our hips. And let's take the palms, take them down towards the ground. So the palms are turned down. We're holding on to the ground. And then what I'd like you to do is slowly wiggle those toes, noticing how the toes are feeling. Good. If you're like me, you're a little bit cold today, so the socks have stayed on. But if you have them off now and decide to put them on again later, or vice versa, that's okay.
And then when you're ready, slowly bring some movement into the ankles. Maybe that's rising onto the tiptoes. Maybe it's lifting the toes all the way to the sky. Maybe it's moving the toes or the feet from side to side or drawing some circles. Any wiggles that feel nice, maybe they both move together, maybe it's one at a time. And then slowly come back to stillness, planting the feet flat on the mat. Good. From here, I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in. And gently we're going to peel the bottom up off the mat, just ever so slightly. So we're squeezing onto our glutes and pushing the feet flat into the mat. And just scooping up our lower back. Then what we can do is slowly scoop the hips over towards the right, back to center and over to the left. It's like we're a swing or a hammock here. Just gently going up from side to side and maybe skimming the floor or perhaps having a break as we come back to center. So we're just scooping side to side and seeing how the body moves to get there. If that feels nice, continue doing what you're doing, maybe pausing at a certain area that feels good in the body. Or perhaps the swinging side to side doesn't feel quite right today. Maybe instead we're lifting the bottom up off the mat, but we're imagining we're a snake. So the hips sway from left to right, staying nice and square to the ground. And then that slowly snaking movement goes a little bit further. Maybe it goes a little bit slower, a little bit faster, but eventually reaches up the mid-back. And perhaps the shoulders get a little bit involved here too. Maybe we even peel the hips up a bit higher if that feels nice. So just exploring movements here in our hips. Maybe it's systematic, maybe it's quite pretty, or perhaps it's really random and not something you'd associate with yoga normally. So just playing around. Maybe it's really subtle movements. Maybe it's twisting your hips side to side whilst keeping the opposite on the ground. Anything at all. We're going to have a couple more breaths to play around here. Maybe it's complete stillness. Maybe it's something completely different to what I've suggested doing, but just letting your body take over, letting your hips, your back, your belly, let you know what it needs. And as you next exhale, if you haven't already done so, slowly peel your way all the way back down to the mat. The bottom's the last thing to reach the ground. From here, take a nice deep big inhale and bring both knees in towards the chest, hugging onto the knees, wind relieving pose. Gently rocking side to side, massaging that lower back, maybe drawing circles with the knees, and then maybe going the opposite way. Maybe the knees stay together, maybe they move apart and then meet again in the middle. Your choice. 2 more breaths. Good, last one. And when you're ready, exhale, lower the feet back down onto the mat beneath you. Allow the hands to rest wherever comfortable and windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. So the knees will roll from left to right. Maybe you keep rocking side to side, or perhaps you take a few moments with the legs pausing on either the left and then maybe pausing on maybe the right. So just allowing your body to guide you. What feels nice today? Maybe continuous movement feels better, or perhaps the stillness feels good. It's just taking the time to really notice where your body is at, acknowledging how each part is feeling and knowing that is absolutely perfect. Whatever's happening is perfect in your body today. Good. Taking a couple more breaths side to side. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring the knees all the way back to stillness, back towards the ceiling. Bring the soles of the feet to touch and open the knees nice and wide towards the edges of the mat. So coming to our Supta Baddha Konasana here. And this is a fab one to just let gravity do all the work for you. So not forcing your legs down, just keeping the feet together and guiding the knees to the sides of the room. And the rest will happen naturally. Just breathing in, breathing out. 2 more breaths. Good. Noticing how the hips are feeling before gently inhaling, bringing the knees all the way back to the top to meet. Good. From here, let's hug that right knee in towards the chest. Maybe the left foot stays on the mat. Perhaps you even want to push into the foot to lift the hips up off the ground, and then slowly exhale, lower back. Maybe we keep the foot planted on the ground, the left one, or perhaps we extend the left leg nice and long here. Your choice, what feels better for you today? Can you hug that right knee in a little bit closer towards your chest in a way that's comfortable? Good. From here, exhale, lower the left hand down to the mat next to you and slowly draw some circles with that right knee with the right hand on top of the knee. Just going round and round in circles. And then maybe send those circles the opposite way. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. And the next time your knee opens up towards the right side of the room, just hold it there for a breath or two. How much can we relax the knee down towards the ground? Can you try to keep the left hip on the mat, perhaps even taking the left hand on top of the left hip to guide us and remind us to stay here if possible? Good. One more breath. Nice. As we inhale, bring that right knee all the way back to center. Take the left hand on top of the knee and release the right hand down to the mat. Slowly, as we breathe in, we're drawing the knee over towards the left side of the room, coming to a supine twist here. So the right knee is all the way over towards the left, as far as is comfortable for you. Maybe we keep the left hand on top of the right knee. Maybe we extend the left arm nice and long in line with the shoulder. And perhaps the right one comes in line with the right shoulder too, creating a nice T shape. Your choice, what feels good here for you? Maybe even the head begins to roll the opposite way to the legs, looking over the right shoulder. Just breathing in and breathing out. Good. 2 more breaths. Noticing where you're feeling your stretch, your release here. Good. As you next inhale, the knee comes all the way back to center. Give it a nice big hug with both hands again, drawing it in as close as you can towards your chest. And as you exhale, slowly release that right leg nice and long. Take a moment to breathe. Maybe have a wiggle if you need to. And then perhaps we move into this move the same way as we did on the other leg. So bring both feet back down to the mat just underneath your bottom, knees up towards the ceiling. This time we're hugging that left knee in towards our chest. Give it a nice big hug. Perhaps from here we push down into that right foot and peel the hips up off the mat, squeezing into the glutes before slowly exhaling, lowering back down. Feeling that connection of the lower back with the mat here. Maybe you're happy where you are. Maybe this feels good to try the pose here. Or perhaps we can extend that right leg nice and long. And as you next exhale, try and bring the left knee in towards your chest a little bit more. If you're like me, lefts and rights can be so hard to remember, especially when you're doing a little flow. So sometimes I might catch myself out, or you might notice something I don't. So if that happens, I apologize. But for the time being, let's just focus in on how this stretch is feeling for one more breath. Good. And we're slowly going to draw circles to remove that right hand from the knee. Take the left knee in the left hand and draw your circles towards the side of the room. Round and round we go. Beautiful, guys. A couple more in this direction. And then when you're ready, send it the opposite way. Maybe they're slow circles, maybe they're fast, maybe they're really small, subtle movements, or perhaps we're trying to make them as big as we possibly can go. One more breath. And then come back to stillness when you're ready. It's time to draw the left knee towards the left side of the room. Again, we're trying to keep that right hip nice and flat on the ground. So perhaps just take the right hand on top of the hip to remind you to glue it down as much as you can go. So just breathing in, breathing out here. And seeing where your body goes. Good, one more. Lovely. Inhale, knee comes all the way back to center. Switch the hands over. Right hand to the left knee. Left arm nice and long if comfortable, or come to a place that feels better. As we exhale, drawing that left knee over to the right side of the room. Maybe we stay here with the right hand on top of the knee. Maybe we extend the right hand nice and long in line with the shoulders. Maybe we keep looking up towards the ceiling, or perhaps we exhale, draw the head to look over the left shoulder. So just come to a place that feels good for you in your supine twist here. And notice where you're feeling that stretch in a positive way. If it hurts at all, come back out of it. Come to a place that feels good. This flow is all about what feels nice in your body. Taking it slowly to release the tension, not trying to create it. So if you're like me, you might be feeling a lovely stretch in the armpit area here as the left arm is nice and long in line with the shoulders. Trying to glue the shoulder blades to the mat behind you. Both are connected to the mat. Good, one more breath. Nice. Okay, as we inhale, bring the knee all the way back to center. Hug onto it with both hands, bringing it in as close as you can towards your chest. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly release the leg nice and long along the mat. Good. Nice deep breaths. Maybe we have a little bit of a wiggle, a play in the feet. Maybe we draw some circles with the toes in both directions. Just breathing in and breathing out. Okay, we're so close to our relaxation now. Let's do a few more stretches before we get there. So as we inhale, we're scooping hands up overhead and trying to make ourselves as long as we can possibly go. Stretching the fingertips away from you, the toes are pointing. We're trying to be nice and long here. One more breath. Good. Okay, from here, take the left foot nice and wide. So we want it to go to the left bottom corner of our mat. Then we're going to take the right ankle and cross it over the top of the left leg. Grabbing onto the right wrist with our left hand and slowly drawing both arms over towards the left side. So we're coming into a bit of a banana shape here. You can look towards the ceiling or allow your head to go anywhere that feels good for you. Have a play. So you should be feeling the stretch along the whole of our right side of our body now. One more breath. Good. As we exhale, release the hands, bring your body back to center, release the legs, and take the right leg towards the right bottom corner of the mat. Then the left leg crosses over the top, and we grab onto the left wrist with the right hand, wrapping round. Good. Slowly we exhale, draw the arms over towards the right side of the mat now. And we come into a banana shape on the other side, feeling the stretch along the left side of our bodies. Again, looking wherever you need to, wherever is nice and comfortable for you in the head, in the neck. Maybe we even close our eyes here and really tune into how it's feeling. Is there anything you can do to make this pose feel even better? Good. If not, that's fine. Maybe it already feels nice for you, or perhaps it's not where you need to go today, and that's okay. One more breath. Good. Okay, as we inhale all the way back to center with the arms, release the hands, uncross the legs, and shake it out. Any wiggles that feel good for you. Nice. And then what I'd like us to do is come to a place that is comfortable enough for us to find some relaxation in. We're all the way towards our Shavasana now already. So we've had a bit of a go of stretching out whilst lying on our backs. Let's try and come to a place that feels nice here. So traditional Shavasana pose is the feet towards the ends of our mats and just turning towards the corners so they're opening up to the edges of the mat. The palms resting either side of the body up towards the ceiling and fingertips relaxed. They'll naturally curl in and that's fine. As we're lying here, the shoulders will be feeling connected to the mat and maybe parts of the back too. Maybe we can bring some awareness to those areas in just a moment. If the eyes aren't already closed, I'd like to invite you to do so now. But if you want to grab onto anything to make you extra comfy today, maybe some socks, your jumper, a blanket or a pillow, now is the time to do so. But bring yourself back to your comfy Shavasana position, your corpse pose in just a moment. Good. So if you are ready, with the eyes nicely shut, gently shut, smoothly shut, allow your awareness to travel firstly to the breath. Just be mindful of how each breath feels as you breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Maybe there's a temperature attached to the breath as you breathe in. And maybe that temperature changes as you breathe out. Maybe it starts cool, and as you breathe out, it's suddenly a bit warmer. Maybe with every inhale and exhale you make, there's different sounds happening in your body. Perhaps there's almost a tunnel in the back of your throat that maybe makes wave-like sounds like seasides. Waves crashing into the shore and slowly retreating. Filling up the balloon in your belly with every inhale, and every exhale sinking a little bit deeper into relaxation. And perhaps today this is all you'd like to focus on. If that's the case, please feel free to carry on noticing the breath a little bit more. But perhaps today we can bring awareness to different parts of our body. So as you next breathe in, I'd like you to bring your awareness all the way down to your toes. Noticing how the toes feel on both the left and the right foot. Maybe it's just noticing these areas, but if you need to have a bit of a wiggle, that's okay. Try and come back to stillness when you are ready to do so. Allow the awareness to travel up the feet now, the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, all the way to the ankles. Noticing anything you need to notice here. The awareness travels up the calves, the shins, all the way to the knees, the tops of the knees, the sides of the knees, the backs of the knees. And every exhale, we can relax a little bit more. The awareness travels up the legs a little bit more, the tops of the thighs, the backs of the thighs, all the way to the hips, the glutes, and the pelvis. With every exhale now, the entire lower body can rest, relax, and release a little bit more. Every exhale, we can let go just a little bit more today. Maybe that's a feeling of heaviness, almost like we're sinking into the ground that little bit more. Maybe it's like a beautiful blanket is just slowly engulfing you, covering you up, keeping you warm. Or perhaps as we're exhaling, the more relaxed we become, the lighter we begin to feel. Just noticing anything you need to notice in your body. And slowly the awareness travels up a little bit higher, the lower back and the belly. Maybe here we notice how the body moves as we breathe in and breathe out. Maybe the mid-back, the chest. With every breath you're taking, does the connection of your body with the mat change at all? Without trying to change it, just being aware. Maybe the pressure of your back on the mat changes as you breathe in to as you breathe out. Allow the awareness to keep traveling a little bit more to the shoulders, to the collarbone area. Just relaxing, releasing, and feeling the mat supporting you, knowing you are totally safe here. Feeling the arms resting lovely and long either side of your body. Relaxing the fingertips, the fingers, the knuckles, the palms of the hands on both the left and the right, the backs of the hands, the left wrist, the right wrist, all the way up the forearms to the elbows, all the way up the upper arms to the shoulders, allowing the awareness to travel higher, the back of the neck, the throat, relaxing the jaw unclenching the teeth, and letting the tongue rest wherever comfortable today. Allowing the cheeks to be soft, the nose to be smooth and uncrinkled. The eyelids still softly shut. The eyebrows and the space between the brows and the forehead are smooth and relaxed. And finally, your awareness travels all the way up to the top of your head, the crown of the head. As you're breathing in and breathing out now, noticing how your entire body is feeling. With every breath that comes and goes, maybe we can sink a little bit deeper into that feeling. Relaxing the entire body that little bit more. Relaxing, releasing, and letting go as you breathe out today. So we're going to stay here for a little bit longer. Just continue to allow your body to relax and unwind as best as you can. And if at any point your mind starts to wander, perhaps bring your awareness back to relaxing the body bit by bit, or perhaps noticing the breath once more in through the nose, to the belly, and slowly back out again. It's just breathing and letting go, allowing your body to soften, your mind to relax whilst focusing on the breath or releasing a certain area. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath here today. And when you're ready, let's slowly wake our bodies back up again. Take a lovely deep inhale, filling up the balloon in your belly. And slowly allow that inhale to travel all the way down to the fingertips and the toes. Allowing the wiggles to get bigger and bigger until they spread to the wrists and the ankles. All the way to the knees and the elbows, to the shoulders, the hips, the glutes, the back, the belly, the shoulders once more, the neck, the face, and anywhere in between. Wiggle, stretch, move, breathe, twist, whatever you need to do to feel good. It doesn't have to look yoga-y, it doesn't have to be yoga, it just needs to feel nice for you. So let your body get into some of the weirdest shapes it needs to just to feel nice right now. Breathe in, maybe yawn if you want to. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself over to your right hand side and create a pillow for your head with your arms or your hands. Take a nice deep breath in here and just noticing how your body is feeling right now. And when you're ready, with the eyes still closed, slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes still closed. And bring your hands to heart center in prayer. Good. Focusing in on your breath. And perhaps while we're here, we can find a happy thought of some form. Now it could be a word, it could be a person, it could be a picture, an image in your mind. It could be a song, it could be a mantra. It could be a particular goal or a sentence that you want to bring into existence. Whatever it is, it just needs to make you feel a positive thing. It could be happy, it could be motivated, it could be empowered, anything at all. It just needs to make you feel good. And maybe that's nothing. Maybe you don't have anything in particular you want to find right now, and that is fine. We can always make space for amazing things to come, even if we don't have something specific in mind. So if you found something today, amazing, but if not, do not worry. Let's come to stillness. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, rub those hands together, create friction in those palms. And when they're really, really hot and about to set alight, let's part them and place them over our closed eyelids. Allow the heat from our hands to warm up our eyes and slowly blink them open. Part the fingertips to let more light in, and when they've adjusted, slowly exhale, bring the hands all the way down to heart center in prayer. Good. So we're going to come to our lotus flower meditation sequence now, just to seal our practice today. So if you did have a happy thought, grab onto that now, but if not, just do the movements. So we're going to inhale our prayer hands all the way up to our third eye, so the space between our eyebrows. And we're going to plant our happiness into our palms as if they're a seed. We're about to grow a lovely plant. As you exhale, let's lower the hands all the way down to heart center, where we truly desire our happiness, our thoughts and feelings. Good. From here, we're peeling open our hands like a book and seeing what we're sending off. If we're really happy with what it is, just gently seal the envelope shut by placing the knuckles together, opening the palms to the side of the room. Breathe out. We're brushing past our chest with the fingertips and sending them all the way away from us. Nice straight arms. Give thanks now to anything you believe in. Maybe it's the world, Mother Nature, God in particular, or maybe it's just a random thanks to the world or something or someone. As you exhale, we're bringing the hands back towards us so we can make space for other things in our world. Peel open our hands like a book and see what's been sent back. When you're happy with it, seal it shut. Maybe take a moment to close the eyes or just focus in on the prayer hands. And maybe we give thanks once more to what's been sent back and what's already in our world. As we exhale next, keep the pinky fingers and thumbs together whilst blossoming the 3 middle fingers, peeling the hands open into a lotus flower and opening it up to the ceiling. Good. Take a moment to look into your palms and see all of the amazing things right at your fingertips. As always, you have the power to do anything you want to do. And just sit with that thought for a little while if that feels good for you. When you're ready, hands come back to heart center in prayer. Thank you very much for flowing with me today for day 3 slow flow and meditation. I hope you're feeling well, eat well, drink well, sleep well. Namaste.